FaZe Clan isn't just adding names to a roster. Every new signing in 2025 felt like a gamble. Some recruits lit the community on fire with love and hype. While others had fans yelling that FaZe had finally lost its way. And that clash is exactly why today we're breaking down the most loved versus most hated FaZe Clan New Recruits 2025.
This is my level, this is my level.
Oh my god.
What the Russian rap? What's happening? What the fuck?
When FaZe announced that they had just signed the GOAT of Counter-Strike on loan, the esports world went over its heels. Alexander Simple was going to be in a FaZe jersey. It went from being a simple roster move to a crossover episode that no one ever expected to happen.
Hey, let's take someone from FaZe. Let's take Frozen. Yeah. His aim is actually insane. Movement, let's take Robs. Brain in a game sense. Let's take Blade.
Simple is more than just another pro, because for years, he's been marked as the standard of excellence in FPS gaming. He's so dominant that even his off days look like highlight reels. In May 2025, he came in from Navi, and the move was expressed to be about shock value, hype, and giving FaZe fans a taste of something legendary. On the server, Simple delivers what only he can with a signature don't blink energy. Immediately, he got everyone talking, and analysts called him the missing piece for FaZe. Also, fans recognized his impactful plays. Simple single-handedly carrying important rounds when no one expects it. And still, people putting ZYWOO or Donk over Simple even after this. That's crazy. Another fan acknowledged that Simple and FaZe were destined to be together. If there was ever an esports pro that was meant to be on FaZe, it's Simple. Never thought I'd see Simple in FaZe. Years ago, Simple was the prime enemy of FaZe, now in the same team. With Simple, the chaos does not stay in the crosshairs because the craziest part about his signing wasn't his plays, but the drama it came with. Simple is polarizing. His skills guarantee attention, yet his presence shifts entire team dynamics. Simple's chapter with FaZe is more than just news. It's a colossal moment in esports history, and perhaps why many fans love him so much across the world.
Oh my god! He's so back, guys. Holy shit.
But when the next signing dropped, the internet basically imploded. Trust me, it got messy. Jonathan signed with FaZe's CS2 on January 10th, 2025. FaZe Clan announcing Jonathan felt like a power move, as he is one of North America's most decorated Counter-Strike rifles. He had years of experience playing at the highest level, and with veteran status, he brought on brand value. For FaZe, it was about mixing championship pedigree with exposure, and the headline signing of Jonathan offered to reassure fans about it, that the dynasty isn't slowing down.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Normally I'm used to like starting boot camps off at the beginning of the season, but I'm here just with Kerrigan, so it's just like a mini boot camp between us. So it's been really nice. They've been really like accommodating and generous, and they're just awesome.
Fans were excited. This is my favorite roster move from the off-season. Excited for what is to come. However, the fairy tale ended abruptly when FaZe benched Jonathan after only playing a few months. The community reaction was sour immediately, because what was meant to be a boost from a skilled veteran turned into one of the most controversial roster decisions of the year, despite his unique gameplay. The craziest thing was that Jonathan held his own statistically, but somehow underperformed. More so, he wasn't fit with the team. FaZe's leadership style under Kerrigan demands flexibility, fast pacing, and skilled players who can sacrifice when need arises. Jonathan, on the other hand, is stubborn and outspoken about his preferred roles. This clashes with the system. Stories flew around that FaZe didn't want to play him anymore, and fans picked up on the drama. Fans also recognized this behavior in Jonathan. Elige is a good player, of course one of the best, but his energy sucks. He doesn't have that mojo inside him. That's the problem. They need players like Money Energy who will bring mojo, and that required energy. Then FaZe will destroy everybody. Fans thought he wasn't right for the team. I gotta say, I don't think he was necessarily the problem. Maybe he just wasn't a good fit for the team, but it's not like he wasn't fragging. Eli.G's defining characteristic has always been his work ethic, known for his grinding mentality, his willingness to put in more practice hours than anyone else. But ironically, that same intensity often made it hard for him to integrate into new environments. FaZe didn't need another grinder. They needed someone who could adapt to Kerrigan's blueprint, and that's where the cracks showed.
Banana actually just pushed through the smoke. Not going to find anyone up there. Not yet anyway. Oh, wow.
Even he's surprised.
What a god name's going on?
Even he just like shook his head and is like, what have I just done?
Now Nitro's going to be finding Risk with a 1, but the damage is done. JW's got nothing.
The result became a short-lived experiment that left fans divided. Some blamed FaZe for mishandling the signing, while others criticized Elijah for not evolving past his Liquid-era comfort zone. In the end, FaZe cutting him loose felt less like a roster shuffle and more like a breakup everyone saw coming. But when FaZe brought this next streamer on board, fans couldn't decide if it was genius or the worst move they'd ever made. FaZe unveiled their brand new Halo roster in March 2025, revealing a name that instantly stood out to longtime fans, Joey "Trippy" Taylor. For years, Trippy has been that guy in Halo who is consistent, dependable, and the sort of player you always want on your team, even if you might not always headline with. Signing him was a unique roster move that made a statement. FaZe was building for stability, not just flash. He had a connection with his fans and was also very good at Halo. From the jump, everyone knew Trippy to be a wizard at Halo.
Our next question is by Andres G at El Drastique. And he says, are you excited to compete again under Envy? Bro, I am super excited to play under Envy again. The last time I was under Envy was the 2018 season with me, Boo Boo Doo, Pistola, and Saiyan. And we pretty much placed top 3 that whole season, so we placed really, really well.
And his journey to the spotlight came during his championship run with Optic back in 2022. He was sharp on the gun and made almost perfect decisions that cemented his elite gameplay. He wasn't loud or dramatic in the scene, but he always made the right plays under pressure. He is the embodiment of clutch without chaos, but sometimes unintentionally funny. Trippy's signing was the smoothest of all, where the general vibe all agreed that it made sense. His arrival was calm, and from the onset, fans wished him well. Through his gameplay, he gathered love. On the server, he was more about reliability, the guy who holds down the objective when it matters, the guy who sets up his teammates for flashy plays. Naturally, he becomes the backbone of anything, making them 10 times better.
I'm pushing up on this guy.
Play tight for a second.
Tell me where to go. Tell me where to go.
Watch out.
In the vent. On Joe.
Watch out, A-plat. One shot top middle in the vent. Sitting top middle. Weak. Rico.
Yo, green on the open,
A-plat, guys. 2 A-plat. 2 A-plat. 2 A-plat.
One shot green, he's one shot green.
Trippy embodies the term good shit being said over comms. Man never chokes, I swear. Fans were all in, wishing him well. You could feel the love. Wishing you the best in Infinite, Joey. Like it, Joey. Good stuff, man. FaZe didn't sign Trippy to trend. They signed him to win. And sometimes, that's the smartest play of all. Unlike Trippy, whose signing had everyone hyped, this next name brought a storm of controversy you won't believe. If replacing a legend is the hardest job in sports, then Jakob Pietruszewski walked straight into the fire. In August 2025, FaZe announced that Jonathan Elegate had been benched, and that Jakob, an up-and-coming Polish rifler fresh off a stint with Betclish Apogee, would be the one to fill the gap. Overnight, Jakob went from a promising prospect to the guy who has to replace Eli.G. Yet some fans expressed doubts. For a 21-year-old with limited Tier 1 experience, that's as intense as it gets. Suddenly, every frag, every death, every missed clutch is magnified under the FaZe spotlight. While some rookies thrive under pressure, others crumble, and fan reaction to Jacob is brutally mixed. Many criticized the move, even Kerrigan's involvement as a gamble. FaZe have no money to buy any top players. Kerrigan is screwed, he has to gamble on these promising rookies and hope they work out. Jacob's move to FaZe is more about the shoes he will be filling, thereby creating widespread skepticism before he even played on the map. Imagine showing up to your new team only to be met with nasty comments. This decision will make Kerrigan cry more than at the Shanghai Major. The definition of mid. To his credit, Jacob's playstyle is exactly what FaZe needed, and he brings on a fearless, youthful energy that most times shocks veterans. Yet his aggression is volatile, where every overextension costs the team.
Down. Down ramp. I hold right. Two guys down. One hot.
And fans never forget the mistakes. Characteristically, Jacob plays like he's got nothing to lose, and that makes him dangerous and unpredictable. As of late 2025, the jury is still out, and Jacob has not had a fairy tale breakout yet, and the comparisons to Jonathan LIG are overbearing. He came in the midst of controversy and has not really convinced fans yet. But our next player on the list, loved by almost everyone, and that's what makes him so iconic. Every so often in Call of Duty esports, a rookie comes along who feels different. In September 2025, that name was Jovan 04 Rodriguez. When FaZe announced their relocation to Vegas and unveiled a fresh CDL roster, 04's signing became the headline that had fans buzzing.
Atlanta FaZe defend their city.
Simp, Cell, Draza, the whole squad! Call of Duty League champions!
Not because he was already a superstar, but because he represented something FaZe hadn't done in a while, which was betting on fresh blood.
I think it's still my strongest, but it's not by like the biggest margin anymore. I think I kind of like slacked off S&D this year, and I still came out, I think, first or second in the blood thing, like category. But I mean, I'm very excited to come into like this year because I know like Chris is gonna like teach me a lot.
Yeah.
04's rise came through the Call of Duty Challenger circuit, where he built a reputation as a fearless submachine player who could blow up maps with pure aggression. He wasn't the most polished, but he was electric, always pushing the pace, always making opponents uncomfortable. By the time FaZe Vegas called his number, 04 already had a following of fans convinced he was destined to shake things up on the big stage.
How do you approach Major 3 now after having that experience in that grand final?
Expand our map pool for sure.
Yeah.
Skyline wasn't in our bag. Now working on it in scrims. Can't say the results, but you know it's getting there. Our S&D, it's all right, 50-50 I think, and our control's getting a lot better.
His signing came with a rookie hype and was timed perfectly. FaZe Vegas was not only changing players, they were uprooting the entire franchise identity because moving to Vegas meant new branding and new energy in a new era. And right in the middle of it, they handed the keys to a kid who had never played a CDL main stage match. That's a gamble only FaZe could make.
Now Real's gonna be in a pinch. He's making noise. 04 easy trades in a 4 versus 2. And they're just gonna funnel through dark and die. That is a perfect first round.
Fans reacted with cautious excitement, yet they were all in, and even admitted that 04 brought a spark that the CDL desperately needed. 04 is skilled, no doubt. When I started watching him in Vanguard doing and Charles, he still has a lot more gas in the tank. I know it. His skill is undeniable. With aggressive entries, relentless speed, and that I don't care who you are, I'm pushing you mentality. 04 instinctively wins the hearts of fans. Even those who have played against him testify. Went against 04 in a control public lobby, never again. Very nice player. Jovan 04 Rodriguez is a symbol of FaZe Vegas reset, and if things go well, he could become the face of FaZe's next Co-D era. When FaZe signed the next member, it wasn't just clutch plays that turned heads. What he did next had everyone talking. If you know Halo, you know the beloved Penguin. Zane Heron has been a fixture in the competitive scene for years, carving out a reputation as one of the smartest and most reliable players around. So when FaZe announced their rebuilt Halo roster in March 2025, his move from Optic to FaZe immediately sent shockwaves. Rivalries in Halo run deep, and Penguin switching jerseys set social media on fire.
My name is Zane Heron, my gamertag is Penguin, and I play for Cloud9. I think our team's main focus has really been the micro, because we have the individual skill to go the distance. A lot of teams do, but that's when it comes down to, you know, really just dialing in so that we put ourselves in the position to win. Like, we grind in the shadows, I guess. Some people might do it out in the open, and that's why you think they want it more or less, but the obsession, like the desire, the grind is all there. It's just not seen by the public.
Turn here. Nice shot out of Penguin as Renegade gets...
Penguin's story has always been about resilience. From his early days grinding smaller tournaments to becoming a key piece of championship lineups, he's never been the loudest personality in the room. Instead, he's the guy who lets his gameplay speak, calm under pressure, razor sharp with positioning, ready at any time to turn a game around with a clutch decision, and that's Penguin in a nutshell.
He gets one as well. Nice double kill. Let's see if Cloud9 can hit the counter cap. Game 5, and now Bound's gonna need a cap, and yes! Bound!
And his FaZe signing was symbolic because for years, Optic and FaZe have defined esports beef across multiple titles, from Call of Duty to Halo. Seeing Penguin trade green for red felt like a betrayal to some and a fresh chapter to others. On the server, Penguin brings more than just skill. He's a thinker.
That's a sniper rifle in his hands, and if I'm in charge of who we're watching right now, I want to watch 4 more.
Look at Lucid's discipline there, top mid as well, right? Even though he had the overshield, look at the...
Analysts praise his ability to adapt mid-series, to make small adjustments that swing maps. He's not the flashy montage machine, but he's the anchor every great roster needs.
Give me the sword.
What a goat. What a G.
And that's exactly what FaZe was banking on, getting a player who could steady the ship while his teammates went wild. Fan reaction was positive, especially from those tired of the same recycled rosters, because overall, Penguin brought legitimacy to the new lineup. Penguin fits really cleanly into an IGL role. The guy is humble, articulate, and clearly loves the game. Glad he's getting the space to shine. His personality blends into his gaming, which is why he is so beloved. The next player didn't get the same love as Penguin. A rookie signing so bold, some fans thought it might spell the end of FaZe as we know it. When FaZe announced their relocation to Las Vegas and unveiled a brand new Call of Duty League roster in September 2025, 2 names popped up: Jovan 04 Rodriguez and Jordan Abuza Francois. But while 04 got the glow of rookie hype, Abuza's reception was a tad complicated. Abuza came in from the Challenger circuit, where he'd shown flashes of brilliance as an aggressive SMG player. His style is raw, fast, and disruptive, the sort of presence that can rip a map open in seconds. On paper, pairing him with 04 gave FaZe Vegas a youthful, fearless duo to spearhead their reset. But the reaction from the community wasn't nearly as glowing.
Should be good for winners. Seattle, if they lose this series, then they might be in a tough spot. Their odds drop to about 50-50 against Minnesota Rockers. So Seattle, their fate is in their own hands, but they need to win this series.
The craziest thing about his signing wasn't what he did, but how fans immediately questioned it. Why Abuza became a common refrain, as some felt he hadn't proven enough at the challenger level to justify a CDL spot on one of the biggest brands in esports. Others argued that FaZe was gambling too hard, stacking unproven rookies when they needed established talent to anchor their new Vegas identity. At the end of the day, I don't see how you can top the previous roster, but I still wish this team the best. Rest in peace, Atlanta FaZe. Still, those who followed his career know Abuza's defining characteristics: confidence. He plays with swagger, sometimes bordering on reckless.
Be a better player, be a better teammate, and win everything with the team, basically.
Describe your playstyle.
You have to ask the word. I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, describe my playstyle.
That's both his greatest strength and his biggest weakness. In one series, he might fry an entire lobby with non-stop pressure. In the next, that same aggression might cost FaZe crucial rounds. The other layer to the skepticism is timing. FaZe's relocation to Vegas was supposed to be a fresh start, a chance to win the city's heart and energize the fanbase. Rolling the dice on rookies like Abuza fed into the narrative that FaZe was rebuilding rather than chasing titles. Some fans saw it as bold, others saw it as reckless. At the end of the day, Abuza represents risk. He's exciting, unpredictable, and still carving out his identity on the CDL stage. In Vegas, you either hit the jackpot or you don't. Falcated is one of Halo's most experienced glue players. He takes solid shots, great at comms, and the guy who is always doing the dirty work.
Enemy team facing elimination. Ball incoming.
Dude, why do I spawn like at the wall?
Targets are over there.
But when FaZe signed him in March, the reaction was split down the middle. Supporters praised his consistency. His defining trait is steadiness, which is rarely amazing, rarely disastrous.
Chewed that dream and Sentinels up 2-0. Complexity stuck in their base. The Sharks are swarming.
Critics argued that he didn't have the fortitude to keep up with the league's stars, and when FaZe's Halo roster stumbled early, the blame quickly landed on him. On FaZe, a brand built on flashiness, that kind of quiet reliability doesn't always win fans.
Close it out right here. Falcated, he's got himself a rocket in his pocket, but unfortunately for him, it didn't connect. It is going to push a player back, though, and actually do a sizable amount of damage. That's 2 cleared out of that one for Falcated. Maybe a third, too. Yep. That's going to be a nice double kill for him. He's maybe looking for another one as well. The thrust is good, and that's a nice triple. And they get ball control here. FaZe.
Yet undeniably, he is good at what he does. FAL is a beast, one of the underrated players out there. Should be talked about as a top player. Falcated isn't hated because he's bad. He's hated because he's polarizing. He is the kind of player who forces fans to pick a side. And that's the lineup. Some recruits, fans can't stop hyping, and others they love to hate. But the real question is, which of them will actually shape FaZe's future? Will the rookies rise, or will the veterans steal the spotlight? Who is your most loved versus most hated FaZe clan new recruit of 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you think this was wild, wait until you see what we uncovered in the next video. It's even crazier than the FaZe fans' arguments in the comment section.